is like, oh, well thank you for your service. I'm like, not that service.
Not that one.
Yeah. And they're like, well, what does that mean? You're in the Navy, right? I said, no, sorry, I'm a professional.
Yeah.
But then they say, well, how long you been fishing? I said, well, let me just say, I don't fish, and I'm not in the Navy.
Yeah.
You know, but I move all the stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff that makes this place work, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Filipinos are our primos. Mexicans and Filipinos are primos. Across the whole border, whatever happens, Mexicans went over with the Spaniards whenever it happened, and they exchanged a lot of shit. Mezcal came from technology from the Philippines to Mexico. Salsas, all this and that, whatnot, and this and that. So we're all fucking primos. We
shit,
get
man.
there, and
Come
this
on,
guy's
man.
like, if you want to see Saipan,
Yeah.
okay, you want to see Saipan, the real Saipan. Saipan's very important as far as our America goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they says, you want to see this real shit, you got to go on this thing, and it's called the Hash Harrier Hounds Run. And it's an international thing, right? And basically, it's my drinking club has a running problem. right? That's what it is. Nice. And like, fuck it, dude. Yeah. I'm like a fat kid. I like drinking beer. I like seeing cool shit. Yeah. Let's go running.
Yeah.
You know? And I got to be there. I was fortunate enough to be there long enough to do a lot of these runs.
Okay.
And I'm also competitive and fat, so I'm going to be like the fucking red herring. They're like, this guy's in last place. Fuck no, I'm going to be in the front.
Yeah, totally.
Because if I get there first, I get to drink the beer.
That's
first.
right, dude.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And I literally got to run up, down, left, and right all over this fucking island.
That's awesome.
And in the meantime, I got to meet a lot of those fucking locals that were out there. I mean, Kooky, all these fucking guys out there, man. So fucking cool.
Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. With your host, Craig Casamas and Big J Curran.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. Wow, this is a first. Usually this is all Craig. Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. We're sitting here in our famous studios down here in East Ventura, the world famous East Ventura, representing. We got a special guest here today, hanging out, me and Craig and my brother Jason Ramirez.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. Oxnard.
This is really awkward being the one doing this shit.
How's it feel, motherfucker?
It feels fine. I just wasn't expecting it, you know? So
yeah, have you ever seen this guy at a loss for words ever in your life?
Not at a loss for words. No. I was just kind of surprised that he threw it at me, man.
Hey,
good, man.
You're a guest, dude.
So this is my boy Jason, man. We've been this is my homie for about 25 years now. We started working together back in the days doing maintenance at the Wainimi power plant. And we just always been together since then, man. It's one of my favorite people in the world, man. When I get a message or something from him, I know I'm getting something good in life. You know what I mean? Like,
it's definitely
like a good positive. Yeah,
for
you know
sure.
what I mean? Like, we get those messages and we get those stuff from people, and it's like, you know, this guy, you're going to get some shit, and maybe it's going to be questionable, or this guy is going to be, you know, aggressive or whatever it is. Whenever I get something from Jason, I know that it's going to be something musically next level. Mechanic stuff next level. It's always something positive and fun, and I look forward to it. And I watched him go from us doing maintenance out at the Octurus power plant to going into school and graduating from school and becoming a merchant marine, and it's a merchant marine. And what a merchant marine is, for Craig.
Why don't you let him explain it?
No, I want to get this one out because you know this is coming.
Yeah.
I told Craig, hey, my boy, he's a merchant marine, and then he's like, is he still in service?
I had no.
Is he
I don't know what a merchant.
No,
was.
he has no idea.
I would say,
I'm a fucking dirt guy. I move dirt. Okay. That's nothing to do with the water.
Yeah. Well, the
to
common
do
thing is like, oh, well, thank you for your service.
Marine.
I'm like, not that service.
Not that one.
And they're like, well, what does that mean? You're in the Navy, right? I said, no, sorry, I'm a professional.
Yeah.
But then they say, well, how long you been fishing? I said, well, let me just say, I don't fish, and I'm not in the Navy.
Yeah.
You know, but I move all the stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff that makes this place work, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. So, I mean, how long have you been doing that?
Going on 10 years now.
10 years.
I've been here 10 years.
And where do you? I mean, I know you're out of Texas now. Is that where you run out of? Like out of the?
No, absolutely not.
You go all over the country.
Not. Since I started, there's 2 unions, and I'm in one where I don't have to go to a union hall that's designated in a place.
Okay.
But the thing is like, I go anywhere, so where I'm at doesn't matter.
Right.
I've been flown out to Germany. I've been flown out to Poland. I've been flown. So it's like the work's over there. So it doesn't matter where the fuck you live.
Right.
They're gonna send you there, and you're gonna get to work, and we'll see you in 4 months.
Yeah.
Or we'll see you in 2 months. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So.
Is that what you're running the big cargo ships and stuff like
that?
Yeah,
I do a lot of cargo.
Everything.
Everything.
Okay.
I've done like, it's very interesting because I don't want to say nuance, but there's just so many different trades within this one thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Some people, they run oil tankers. No, thank you.
No.
Some people do container ships, which I haven't had the luxury of trying, but I don't think I'd want to do it anyway.
Right.
And then there's what they call tramp ships. That's what most people think about, right? Oh, just the old pirate life thing. You just go from this port to that port, and it's the romantic aspect of the gig. And I did that, and it's fucking romantic. I love it. You don't know where you're fucking going.
Right.
And they just tell you go, and then you fucking hit the seas. And then there's another thing called a liner service, which is what most trades do. Is it's like a bus stop. You start at A, then you go to B, then you go to C, and you're back to A, and you do this fucking circle lap thing. I barely, after 10 years, got into that type of trade just now. So
really?
I run from San Diego to Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
And it's I love it and I hate it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Everything about it is beautiful because I can tell you where I'm going to be at next year for Christmas.
Sure.
But also, I can tell you where I'm going to be at next year for Christmas.
Yeah.
The wanderlust part of it's gone, but I have a really great gig, and the people I work with are fucking awesome, and I know that I go to work, and in 10 weeks I'll be back.
Yeah.
When I was tramping, bro, I'm into the wind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you could get
So what's the difference between tramping and what you're doing now?
So the tramping,
is there a different cargo? What are you doing?
Well, the tramping part is just where you don't know the ABCD part.
Oh.
I can leave right now from New Orleans, and we'll go headed straight down to Rio. And they go, okay, you're in Rio now, so fuck off and go to England, and then from England you're going to go to Australia. There's no real rhyme or reason except for where they can get cargo. Oh, and so, you're going to drop some stuff up in England, and then someone in England has something to go to France.
Oh,
so
wow.
you're going to France next.
Okay.
The what they call that is a liner service, is the ABCD. It's a circular rotation, like what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
They already know, hey, they'll be back in 2 weeks. Don't press this fucking cargo because they'll be back in 2 weeks. They'll pick it up and they'll take it back to where you're going. When you're tramping, it is that wanderlust kind of thing, but it's also like, okay, dude, I'm only supposed to be out here for 3 months, but guess what? Here we are, and it's 3 months, and I'm 2 weeks before I even get back to land.
Wow.
Then you get back to land, they go, hey, don't come in. Just go to drift.
Yeah.
And you're literally a ship, and you basically turn the fucking engines off and you fucking drift.
Wow.
On the hook.
So guess what? Yeah. Guess what? You ain't going home after 90 days.
No, you ain't.
You know? And I've had jobs that were trying to be on this liner service kind of deal where you know where you're going to be and when you're going to be there. And it was the last 3 years I was on the ship, and it was 90 to 100 days is when I was supposed to be at work.
Yeah.
And shortest I was ever there was 118.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you get towards tramping, and life is a fucking mystery, and you could be going to the coolest place, or you can go to the rat hole of the fucking universe. And
but we talked and all that shit, and I remember you being down in
that's the best part of it.
Yeah, was it you were in in the Philippines or some country, and you're like,
oh fuck, dude,
you're like, brother, I'm out here running around in these jungles with these girls and shit. This shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah, sometimes you pull into a place and you find out there's some local bullshit, and you just fucking dive head on into it, man, and you're just fucking gone.
That's awesome.
It's fucking sick. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, and like, my best ships, and I say best with a very loose quotation mark, are the ones that I've liked the most. Mm-hmm. They were all the ships that kind of died.
Right.
You're fucking literally dead in the fucking water, and you don't know what's happening next.
Yeah.
I've always been like the fucked up ones, the least best paying ones, but the ones you remember the most and the ones you kind of like the best.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everyone knows that shit could fucking go wrong, and you're in for the long haul, and that's actually the best part about it. It's the part like. So anyway, let me just say this. They kind of have this phrase where it says like a bitching sailor is a happy sailor.
Okay.
If a sailor stops bitching, you know something's wrong.
Right.
Yeah. And the truth is like that's really it, right? Like, oh fuck, we gotta go to this place. And it's like, hey, but that place is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
When you
like
get off
don't
the
don't
boat,
let
it's
them
gonna
don't
be
let them know
awesome.
I'm in for this. You know, like we went to like Northern Territory in Australia.
Okay.
Right, we're pulling in and we got some fucking cargo and it's cool, whatever. But guess what? There's that what do they call that? The Microsoft guy, the octopus,
Okay.
the mega yacht.
Oh,
Dude,
okay. Yeah.
dude, this guy's ship was bigger than my ship. I'm a business ship, and this guy's fucking fun toy.
How big are your ships? Like that you generally run?
On average, like right now, I think I've got it's only like 500 feet, but like 600 feet.
500.
Yeah, I mean, I've sailed on ships that are 1,000 feet long.
That's amazing, dude.
You know,
That's crazy.
and like, you know, it just depends on who you are and where you come from.
Right.
Like if you're about 120 feet long, I'd still call it a boat.
Sure.
You know, but there's a lot of people doing a lot of trades, and like these guys that go out into the not the Persian Gulf, but the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
A lot of these guys that go and they supply the oil platforms and shit.
Right.
They're about 120.
Yeah.
And they've got like drilling mud. They take supplies out there. They do
Yeah.
that stuff. I consider that a boat. And I think most of those guys probably do too. So it's not really like an insult or nothing. But
No,
like,
yeah.
But like shipping, you really start talking about ships at like 300 feet, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the
And-
difference between a ship and a boat?
Well,
I can
300
tell you.
feet.
I can tell
A
you.
football field.
I learned this a long time ago.
well.
Here's the difference
well,
between a ship and a boat.
You can put a boat on a ship.
But you can't put a ship in a boat.
You got that right.
That's the difference.
You got right. You got
And
that right.
I learned that a long time ago. And when you're down at the port,
Yeah.
you see the difference. Like you see
Oh, yeah.
these big ass boats that come in and they're crew boats and they're doing all this stuff. But then when you see one of these ships come in, man,
a whole
it's
nother
astounding, man. Anybody wants to go check it out, go down to the Port of Wainimi and take a look.
Yeah.
You know, it is incredible to see how big, you know, these things they are literally an apartment complex high.
Yeah.
And a block long and a block wide at least
On water.
You know, and that's what's floating around. You know, it's incredible. One of the coolest things I ever saw was watching Deadliest Catch. And I work at the port, so I see how big these ships are. I see how big it is. And they're doing this thing and they go, look at this on the map. And they're like, look at this, it's a car ship. And look at this car ship in the middle of the Bering Strait. And it's this little blip. But I know
That's
what it looks like.
Right.
And I'm like, the enormity of it.
I know
blew
what that
my
thing is.
fucking mind,
it's the size
man.
of a fucking Tic Tac, and I know that thing's bigger than my whole fucking neighborhood.
Yeah.
And to top it off, like all my brothers from Alaska, you know, the Nate Conleys and all those guys that, man, I'll tell you what, like the deeper I get into shipping, the more I learn about it.
Right.
And I'll tell you, like, just for instance, my boy Nate's been out there and like, fuck, man, he's a fucking 13, 14, 15-year-old kid, and he's out there fishing with the big boys.
Yeah,
and
wow.
it's a family thing, of course, right?
Yeah.
So he was born into it, right? And he's got these fucking high school teachers. He's like, dude, I was such a fucking dickhead. Like, I'm fucking 15 years old, and this lady's giving me this shit. Nate, you ain't gonna be shit. And he's like, bitch, I made more than you did this fucking summer, and you're gonna make all year.
Yeah.
And you know, and you know what though? That's something I learned from my grandfather, is that was a boy who did a man's job, and he's going to drink a man's beer, and he's going to talk a man's talk. And I give it to those guys. You know, like, he's not the only guy. I got a handful of guys out there that are they're from Alaska, and they're doing their thing, and they're out there fishing. And you know what? They call it the deadliest catch, but, like, you know, I know a lot of people that do it. A lot of stuff we do is deadly, but that shit's for real. It's for real.
Yeah, it's not a joke.
You know, like I guess in this life, like, yo, we worked a lot of industrial shit, and every damn thing was bigger than us, and if it fell on top of us, we dead.
Dead.
You know what I mean? They just take it one step further.
Yeah.
They're on the water.
Yeah.
You call the ambulance, guess what? That's the fucking Coast Guard.
Frigid
Hopefully they
ice
get out
water,
to you in the next
know,
12 hours.
Totally, yeah.
You know, and so like men like him and my boy Levi and all these other guys, they've been out there doing this type of shit, and the reality is that, like, those were fucking boys doing a man's job.
Right.
And they were men at young ages. And so as we come into it, like, what scares a regular fucking dude that works in a cubicle, man, that ain't even, we're talking about
shit.
over coffee.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? And it's cool like that, though.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. That's what drew me to it. Like when I started working on the oil platforms, before I moved in, same company. I was working on these oil platforms, and then they shift me in, and I'm at this fucking power plant, and then I meet Jay, and then that was when shit got real good. But hey, Hey, I mean, it was pretty fucking good.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was
A lot of
it was
damn
off
fun.
the hook.
You know, we bump into each other from other arenas, but then we got into the everyday thing, and then it got great.
Yeah.
And the reality is, everything that we do in those days and those times is like, literally, you fuck up, you die.
Yeah, totally. Dude.
So with that in mind, we do shit right, but then we get to go be assholes in the fucking bar and fucking have fun times and know that shit ain't gonna kill us.
Yeah.
That big old thing, that was 500 feet in the sky. Yeah. You know, I mean, we're at the power plant. We're 5 stories up, but 5 stories at the power plant's 500 feet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so if something falls, you know, I mean, a fucking wrench falls, hit your head, you're done.
And we're rebuilding.
Yeah, we rebuilt the whole power plants, the boilers.
We're doing and we're doing at the same time. We're doing scaffolding. We're doing walkways. We're doing all this stuff where you're harnessed in, you're strapped in, and you're cutting and welding, and you're 5 stories up, hanging off the side of shit, and it's crazy and dangerous, but at the same time, it was so much fun, man.
Dude, I had the same romantic type attitude about it.
Yeah,
like
it was a blast, man.
Yeah, you're right. It was.
You know,
and I think as a child, you know, I didn't want to be a fireman. I didn't want to be a cop. But I knew how to do radical shit. I was a fucking idiot. I watched Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Yeah. I want to do wild shit, right? Totally. And so, like, you know, what we do, everybody can't do that. So what's the next step?
We're in the exact same. He's still in the, he's in the engineer operators union. Right now he's got a desk job, but before he turned into a secretary, he had, he was out there showing people how to grade, and doing this stuff where you just can't. Anybody can get in there and operate a backhoe. Anybody can get in there and operate a grader, but that's not true. No. That's what people see. No. Yeah. But to be a talented individual that gets stuff done, it takes a lot. And he's a king at it. You know what I mean? So
and it's crazy
it's
because
the same thing we all do.
any of our people could do that, right? Dude, I was not born a crane operator.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a fucking sailor, but guess what?
Yeah.
My ship got cranes.
Right.
Biggest pick I did was 375 fucking tons.
That's a fucking lot.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's me, my partner. So now we got 2 guys, not in tandem. I'm not controlling 2 cranes. He's controlling his crane while I'm controlling my crane. Right. And we got the captain up in the fucking bridge, and he's doing the control of the ship. The actual pick happens from the ship.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And to me, it's like, anybody can do that shit. And then I take for granted that every fucking asshole in this world just ain't cut out for some shit.
That's totally true.
Like, I can operate a fucking ballpoint pen.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't know.
It takes a certain amount of confidence to do anything that we do. Anything that we do. Yeah. It takes a certain amount of confidence that I can do it.
Do either of you feel like there's anything you can't do? Like, seriously.
If I put time in it, I'm arrogantly confident enough to where if I put time in, I can.
You don't even sound arrogant. Yeah. To me, you sound very, very tame.
Well, because that's how it comes off. It's like, dude, I could 100% do that.
I didn't.
When I got into what I do, running heavy equipment,
that's what I'm going to do, right?
I didn't want to do it. I got into it because I had to. I had kids. I didn't want to I was a musician. I toured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I
got in out of necessity. But what I found is that I loved it. Like, as soon as I got on, because I grew up around equipment, right? But as soon as you got me on a fucking bulldozer on the side of a hill, pioneering a road, fuck, you got me, dude. Yeah, that was it, But some people, and I see this all the time because I teach apprentices now, you put them on a small scraper. I don't know if you know what scrapers are, but a small one. Like
I move them on my ships.
Yeah, so a 27, right? And then they're like, what the fuck? They're 8 feet in the air. You know what I mean? And then you're like, hey, that's a small one, dude. The big ones are 12-foot tires. And you're going down fucking mountains.
Yeah.
So get ready, buddy. It's like, and it's not for everybody.
But I appreciate that because I've never done
if
that.
you're taught well. You know what I mean?
You
just have to have the fucking show up and the gumption to fucking get it.
It's the wherewithal in the heart.
100%. Yeah.
It's the confidence within yourself, which isn't taught so much anymore. Or actually, I don't know that we were taught it.
I think that's Papa's job.
Given to it.
I think that's Papa's job. Yeah. Like your old man's like, yeah, son, you just get after it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you're like, because I get after it. Because I get after it. Because I get after it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I can tell you right now, whatever the fuck you've done, I don't know how to do it.
Right.
And if you're like, hey, boy, I'm taking you out for the day, I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what's this do? What that do? And then I guarantee you, I can crash as good as anybody.
100%.
You know what I mean? And that's
and do it with a smile.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Totally.
I have no fears. I have no fears of that because like,
well, your oh shit level has been fucking so far above and beyond. You know, when you're out on the open seas, you know,
Dude, he's
and I do want to
me-
hear about like. Have you fucking dealt with pilots? You know, or
Pirates.
Have you been to Somalia?
I deal with pilots every time I come in.
Pirates. That's what I meant to say.
No, he was telling me because, you know, at the Port of Hueneme, you have your Port of Hueneme pilots. So every port has their pilots.
Right.
Okay.
Shout out to
So
Wade.
yeah, big dog.
Big dog.
Yes. So Keith. So
Yeah, Keith too.
they know when they're coming in what they're dealing with. So when they come in, they have their marker lights. They know what's going on. So then you get out there, and I'm pretty sure you're the one that told me about this. And then you get out to these other ports that are like out on an island or out on in the middle of and there's no like you're taking this giant ship, and as it comes in, you have to now's the time where you turn it. And then they hook on, and then you fucking slide it in.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean,
to the
even
you know what I mean. Which one? You were telling me. I know it was you. We're talking about how like these guys are just sliding this thing in off the way to the ship and the current.
Dude, all kinds of shit happens.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, honestly, like a lot of people ain't ready. But during the tramping shit I did, I got to do a lot of shit, and it's like some of the shit I got to do, they didn't do that shit since the 70s.
Really?
And there's guys out there doing it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But there's like 10 guys doing it. Right? The whole fucking fleet in the world is coming in like civilized human beings. The fucking tugboats come out, they hook up, they drag you around, they throw you this way, they throw you that way.
Right.
I mean, we went up to Greenland, Thule, Greenland, right? Like, and they says, hey, Cap, they don't have any tugs up there and they ain't got no fucking pilots. How you feel about that? He's like, fuck it, let's do it. Old salt.
Yeah.
Oh, man. If there's any way it ever gets back to him, I'm telling you, Captain O'Hanlon.
Hell yeah.
Irishman. Badass motherfucker. From the days when it wasn't cute to be fucking Irish.
Right.
I'll tell you, no, this guy's very fucking special. I come on the ship, he goes, Ramirez, huh? I'm like, yeah, that's right. What are you, Mexican? Yeah, I'm Mexican. Catholic? Yeah, I'm Catholic. All right.
We can get along.
All right. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's awesome.
And like, you know, he came from a time where it wasn't fucking cute to be an Irishman. There was no fucking Irish pub and none of this shit. He was a piece of shit. It was before like Irish people got to be white people or something like that. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And he'd been around. He started literally from the bottom up and got to the top of the bottom. Then he bumped up to what they call the officer. He's got a license, etc.
Okay.
And then he bumped up to that, and he carried his license to the point where he could retire in my union.
Right.
And he still kept running. And he's just like, nah, this is a shit we can do. We can do this shit. And he'd been around, so it's nothing new to him. And he's like, all right, cool, let's do this. We're going to go up to the fucking top. You know, I was so like a statute mile is the mile that we measure in a car.
Okay.
So there were about 500 statute miles from Thule, Greenland to the North Pole. The X marks the spot, like Santa Claus, North Pole.
Right.
So, like, you know, just past San Francisco in a car is the North Pole. And we go up there and there's no fucking pilots, there's no fucking tugs. He's like, yeah, we can do that.
Damn.
Yeah, we can do that. And, you know, getting into the port and tying up to the dock is very important because they do it under control. You know? And we managed to get up there in pretty fair and safe conditions, and it was really easy. But the part about it is when you let go, the tugs also pull you off. They pull you off straight off the fucking dock, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you ain't got tugs, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You got to do the old school shit.
Yeah.
And I felt real blessed. I've been looked over a lot of times for spots because, you know, I guess I'm an asshole and I'm not afraid of the big guys. You know, the big guys, they want you to be afraid of them. And yes, sir, no, sir. And I do that when it's necessary. But if you're being a dick, I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're backing, right? So we're going in reverse. And I'm the guy on the stern, which is the ass end of the ship, right? I'm the caboose, right? So what's happening is I'm paying out the line. I'm giving more line. Okay, I stop, right? Now all the weight of the ship and the energy that's being backs up onto the piece of fucking line that I'm on.
Right.
And what happens as you back up, the front end, the bow, starts to actually swing out and it pivots.
Yeah.
That's kind of an operation.
Yeah, I bet.
Like at any point in time, the fucking line's gonna part, smack you in the face. You're gonna lose some fucking teeth and hopefully not a leg. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So like, if you're gonna be fucking romantic about sailing, these are the things you want to do.
Right.
And I was like, yeah. I get to be the guy. I get to fucking be the guy. You know what I mean?
Rad, man.
So we do that kind of shit, and then we go straight down to fucking Canada. We got all this fucking.
So what happened when you pulled back up off of that? So when you pulled back up off of that, and does it kick out? And then once it kicks out, it's full throttle forward. Because being at the port, basically. I see like how this stuff works. That's crazy. Because usually you got tugboats to pull you off.
Yep. Square.
Yeah. Just square and you just out, right?
But to do, and these are
doing
giant
a fucking J
ships,
turn in a wherever, yeah.
But they're giant. They don't have, they're not omnidirectional thrusting.
Yeah.
It's forward and backwards. Yeah. There's no,
it's not like
no fucking brakes.
Where they have
no brakes,
like all that shit.
No brakes,
all
and
gas,
no turbo, no turbo.
Yeah.
You don't like punch it and it just fucking takes off.
Right.
It's a slow throttle. So when you pull off of that, he just waits for it to come off and then takes off, or how does that work?
So, I mean, you do it real slow, and what happens is that we're backing, and I'm paying out the line. I'm extending the amount of distance that the ship is going relative to my line, right? So I pay out 20 feet, we back 20 feet. That means once we get to that 20 feet, the fucking tension comes up onto my line, and the bow actually just swings out to the left because they're backing, because we're tied up to on the right side of my ship, right? So that's the quote unquote anchoring point. And then the bow, it starts to swing left. And when he's good and happy with the way it's swinging, he's like, all right, dude. And I just fucking hit the lever. I tell my man, I hit the lever. We pay out line so the guy on the shore can just pick the line up off the thing and fucking call it good. Yeah. As soon as that happens, I'm like, fucking all that motherfucker. And we were just, we reel the line back in, and all he's got to do is just give fucking forward bell to the fucking ship, and we just start going forward.
Yeah. What's the craziest inbound one you've ever had?
Ooh, craziest inbound. Well, that wasn't it. I've been going inbound into Kenya, and
Jesus, dude, have you been to every fucking country basically?
I've been to almost every continent. But I've been to a lot of countries. Yeah, for sure.
It's amazing, man.
But as we're going in, like there's the piracy element in Somalia, and Kenya's like kind of just below that, and so you can't drop your anchor there. Right. So you kind of just drive up to the top, and then you just fucking stop the engine, and you just drift down. Wow. So it's very deep water right off the coast there, and it's like you're going in, but you got bell. I mean, like it's not like a transmission on a car.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't just get so many RPM and it shifts.
Yeah.
You tell it what RPMs to go at.
Okay.
And as we're going in the engine room, the fuel actually runs through a bunch of different processes, and then it goes through a final filter before it goes into the engine.
Okay.
We're going in, and the housing for the filter fucking blows the fuck up. So now we don't have any control. We got to stop the engines and hope we don't crash into the earth. Right. Basically, I call it the earth, right? Like when I go to work, I'm like, I've been off the fucking planet for.
Dude, that's actually that makes sense because you're in another universe. Like,
I am.
You know what I mean?
And until very recently, I had no real connectivity.
Right, dude, I could see that. Yeah. Because even like the dumb cruises I've been on, like in Sonata, you get to that point when you're on this boat and you're like, can't see anything. Like there's no horizon. You know what I mean? Like you can see that there's only water. You know what I mean? And that even that little bit of shit, like, and then knowing that you were like, you got months of that. You know what I mean? That's got to be the most wild feeling at certain points. You know?
I feel like that's the difference between a land person and a sailor.
Totally.
It's comfortable.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Like yeah, man. Like fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And where we're going and what we're doing and
and
you're in another planet.
So, yeah.
You know, when I come home, I just got back to Earth yesterday.
Yeah.
I just got back to Earth 10 days ago. I just got back to Earth. You know what I mean? And as technology increases, it's a little bit different. But
so the Kenya story. So
we're going in
down.
Bro, they called out the fucking tugs to like race out to come get us. And I mean,
What do those tugs look like? I mean, I
similar.
know that
most tugs are the same.
So they have the same shit as what they have up at the Port of Wainimi.
Port of Wainimi, they got some fucking like Z drive azimuth type shit.
Omnidirectional.
Like, some of those are actually still single screws. So, it just depends on where you are. And it depends on what's available, who's doing what, where. But like that was a kind of a pucker factor one because we don't want to crash into the earth.
Right.
Going in, okay, so we left Thule, Greenland, right? So we left there, and you got to go through all the rivers up north in Canada to get there, or not to get there. You could pass them, but we're coming back down, and we're going to a place we had taken some ammunition, and Canada was going to make bombs, or I don't know what the fuck. We had ammo, and they turned it into to some type of actual charge that we're going to use. So we're going up there, and so they're like, yeah, it's going to cost $8,000 just for the tugs to show up. And they're like, fuck tugs. Okay. So like, that's another one where we're coming in and like, we have to get to like the highest point on the ship so we can throw a fucking line.
Right.
That they can pull a piece of line to put it on something so that the winches can pull us in.
Okay.
So that one was pretty fucking gnarly because like, again, a lot of times the lines are your brakes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we throw that out there and then we got to break with that. And
these lines, so that people kind of have a reference to it, these lines are 5 inches in diameter. They're fucking thick.
They can
giant,
be, yes.
I mean, most people, if there's 7 foot of line, can't pick up 7 foot of line.
No, that's why like tugboat dudes are like fucking macho dudes.
Yeah.
They'll take a piece of this Hauser line and they'll throw it like 3 fucking feet and they'll nail a fucking bit.
Yep.
They'll hook that son of a bitch. They'll pull it in. And it's just like, that's what you do.
Yeah, dude.
You're
if
big,
you've ever been
dog,
around
you know
it,
what I mean?
shit.
Yeah.
So when you guys are there doing your fucking battle ropes, a battle rope is probably 2.5 to 3 inches, and it's not
even close.
It's not the same thick line that you use for,
But there are technologies in some of these ship lines, and it's not common. But there are some that are fucking 1 inch.
Yeah.
And they're
Incredible
just as strong.
Strength,
and they're just as fucking strong. Yeah. And the craziest part that makes them actually desirable.
Don't tell my wife about this shit. Like, don't let her know that there's a 1 inch that's as strong as
super fucking rare.
Old 5
Almost
inch.
never happens.
Yes.
Almost never happens. I think like 2 ships have them in the universe.
And his 1 inch only stays hard for about 3 minutes.
That's right. And then it breaks.
Dude, I'm stoked when it gets hard for 3 minutes. Shit. Totally. She's happy as fuck.
Fucking A, man.
But yeah,
I get a fully stiff one tonight.
Nice.
But yeah, they
Need some? Oh, here I got it. I stole it. Sorry.
Man,
motherfucker. You want another one, brother?
Yeah, fuck
Or are you
yeah.
gonna fucking milk that one?
I've been waiting, man. I thought this was like a one-shot deal.
No,
dude, I got it.
We're here. You brought them. You can drink all of them if you need to. So I mean, have you dealt with the Somali pirates and any of that shit? I mean, have you ever had any of those situations?
That was like a real big problem in the 1990s into the 2000s.
Not so much anymore.
It exists. And actually, what happens is a lot of times the foreign flag ships, they deal with it more.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. I'll run you through the scenario.
All right.
Okay, if I'm going to be anywhere near Somalia, I'm probably going to the Persian Gulf, right? That means round 1 with the fucking pirates, round 2 with the fucking Iranians.
Right.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come to the Mediterranean. Mm-hmm. We're going to come south. We're going to go through the fucking Suez Canal, and god damn, I fucking hate that.
Really?
Yeah, it's a pain in the dick. You actually have to like get some cranes ready. Mm-hmm. And they're gonna have some motorboats, and you're gonna pick them up with your crane and put them on your fucking ship. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. It's this whole orchestrated thing.
Wow.
Then they're gonna bring up a bunch of fucking dudes that set up a swap meet on your ship, and they're all gonna tell you about everything that you need to buy. That's this Egyptian fucking bullshit that came from China.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know I got to pick up 2 boats. Mm-hmm. From the fucking second the first boat's ready, dude, I swear to God, they got the 1920. Ooga, ooga, and they're fucking hammering that bitch until you fucking pick them up. And guess what? The other fucking asshole sees you hooked on the other boat, and he's still hammering it down like you don't fucking know what you're doing.
Right.
And it's like, they're just hammering down. Oh. They're just hammering down. And you pick up the first boat, you put them on the ship, you pick up the second boat, all those guys dump out, they get the swap meet set up, and you got to go down, and you're going. Yeah. And you've got the Bitter Lake you got to deal with.
Wait, so you're literally like, these guys are on the boat, and they're setting up shop to like sell you guys shit? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and depending on what... it is, man. It's fucking wild. And
everyone's cool with it? Like...
No, because you have to restructure all your fucking labor to who's going to be the babysitters and who's gonna contain them to where they got to go and who's going to direct them here. Who's going to? So crazy. I mean,
and you got to watch them because obviously I'm going to assume that they're probably a little bit on the crafty side as far as stealing everything.
Even if they're not fucking crafty, they're going to take the fucking head on the deck, the bathroom. The restroom for who you know, they're gonna take that place. They're gonna turn into a fucking mobile shower, right. So everyone in there is gonna bathe in your head that's on the deck.
Jesus,
and it depends on who you get and what their demands are. Mm-hmm. It's gonna get fucking hectic.
Yeah,
it's just not simple and easy.
No, I couldn't imagine.
And so like these boats that you pick up, right? These boats that you pick up are in case someone goes aground. You saw the Evergreen went in the fucking. So I've had that happen.
Are you talking about the Panama Canal one?
No, that's Suez Canal.
That's Suez.
Where he rammed into the bank and he blocked fucking international traffic for like 10 days or whatever, totally. 7 days, whatever.
That must have fucked everything.
It fucked everything, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, what happened?
That shit happens.
Yeah.
So I've been going through there before, and a ship goes aground. Mm-hmm. And fucking it's battle call and all these fucking guys in the boats. You have to fucking send them down off the crane so they can. What happens is like every 50 yards or so they have bits, which is like the metal piece that you tie up to at the berth when you get there.
Okay.
And so what happens is that they drop these fucking boats. You throw them the fucking line. They take your fucking line to the bit so you can actually stop.
Okay.
Because as you're going through, let's say anywhere between half of a mile to 3/4 of a mile is the distance. When you go through the Suez Canal, you're in a convoy, and you'll have like 10 or 12 ships, and everyone's going about a 1/4 mile apart.
Right.
Well, if shit hits the fan, everyone's gonna stop like fucking right now.
Right.
And that shit ain't easy.
Right.
And that's what caused a big problem is because everyone's got to stop, and then this asshole's blocking the whole traffic.
Right. How did he hit the edge and then buckled himself in? Is that what happened?
Some shit like
you don't.
That.
Yeah. Okay.
Some shit.
It looked fucked up, dude.
Well, because you're on a fucking machine, right? Everyone's like, oh, but these ships and they're maintained and they're this and they're that, which is true.
Yeah,
it's 100% fact. All day, every day, there's a man in an engine room, and he's doing his fucking damnedest to keep this bitch running good. But guess what? This thing runs 365 days a fucking year.
Right.
Your car runs for fucking 5 hours on a trip before you hit the gas station and then turn it off.
Right.
This thing might run for 3 fucking weeks before you turn it off.
Right.
And they're still keeping it warm because in a day you're fucking gone again.
Mm-hmm.
These are really, really hard working fucking vessels.
Yeah,
like they are worked hard and they are not put up wet.
Right.
Because they don't get put up.
Yeah.
You know, every 5 years you go to a shipyard. That's when they actually turn them off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty fucking gnarly. So anyways, you go through this goddamn Suez Canal, right? And then now you're in the fucking Red Sea. Red Sea is fucking like water's hot, so all your systems ain't running good. Yeah. And you come halfway down, and you're about ready. You start making the phone calls, and the people that are the hired guns, they have like a flotilla there. So you have to come in, and you got to pull in slow, and then they send little small boats out, and they got guys, and they got their little suitcases with the machinery, and so you pick them up, and they board your ship, and you keep riding down to this stretch. And this has been in the news lately, so this is actually prevalent. You get down to this place called the Bab el-Mandeb.
Okay.
Right? Now this is just like pretty much the earth where like the African coast and the Persian Gulf coast meet.
Wow.
And so now you've got Yemen. If you're going southbound, you know, to the west or your left-hand side is Yemen, which is all kinds of crazy shit going on. And you know, you've got Eritrea, and you've got all these African countries that are right there.
Okay.
And it comes to a pinch point. Like, the natural Earth only has about 3 fucking miles at this pinch point.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when you hear this shit, and they're talking about down there in Yemen and shit gets tough, there's 3 fucking miles.
Wow.
There's 3 fucking miles. So
that's crazy.
So it used to be where you'd go, you'd pick up some fucking kind of contractor dude who's going to have some machine guns in case of Somalis So once you get through there, then there's Somalia. So you got to go through the fucking gauntlet to get to Somalia.
Now you're in Somalia.
Yeah. Before you used to run through and maybe you'd pick up some contractors and then all of a sudden you'd pick up some contractors. Then you'd pick up a Navy vessel who would escort you to Baba Mandeb.
Oh.
And you get through that point, now that's what they call the Gulf of Aden. And just to the south of you, because you come down and you have to bank a fucking left.
Okay.
Because the earth, again, is there, and that's Djibouti, right? So so Djibouti's pretty civilized as far as like having to deal with threats, as far as ocean-going threats. But as soon as you fucking make that left, that's where Somalia starts.
Yeah.
So you got Yemen to the fucking north, you got fucking Somalia to the south. And so they developed this whole traffic scheme, which is just basically invisible lines on the ocean.
Right.
And it's called like the International Transit Corridor or some shit. And they've got like ships from India, ships from Japan. They're monitoring the thing, right? So in the 90s, it didn't exist. Now they got to unlock. Kind of, you know. What happens is you get around the Horn of Africa, and that's sometimes where you get in a little more trouble with the Somalian pirates. Right. But you head that fucking way, and... you know, you got to go up and around. Now you've gone through the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran's got their little boats, and they come out and they harass, and you've got fucking Navy ships coming from the east because they're like coming from like Kuwait, you know, all these other countries over there, and so you're getting harassed, and they show up, and then they fucking kind of warn everybody off, and it's just mostly a big charade, but 100% a pain in the dick.
And also, I mean, potentially could be dangerous at some point.
Yeah, but fuck it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I mean, in all fairness, I'm not like a macho, but like, it could happen.
Sure.
Yeah. It just could happen. And
it's just something you know.
And if you're gonna go to a place where it could happen and you're gonna act up, then get the fuck off. Go somewhere else. Like, I'm not mad at anybody. It's fair. If you don't like that, if you don't want that, don't go there. And no one's gonna shit on you. Like, But you know. That's part of the game. That's the fun and the adventure. I've gone in there a bunch of times, you know. And the Iranians are always going to harass you, you know, and it's kind of fun and it kind of sucks. And then of course the absolute worst part has nothing to do with anything human being wise.
Right.
I've been in there and it's 128 fucking degrees.
Right, dude.
That's the fuck part.
That's the fuck.
That's the
part.
fuck part.
Yeah, totally.
You know.
Yeah.
So
like all the fucking time it seems. Like, until it's winter, right?
So as a and I know there's different nomenclature for all this stuff, but so you are actually I know you're I want to what is your actual nomenclature for what you're doing?
So my job, right? They call them billets, right? That's kind of like almost a military term. My billet is the second mate.
Okay. So you're a second mate.
So there's you know, OSs, which is ordinary sailor. Okay. And then technically you have a little more skill, so you become an AB, which is an able-bodied sailor.
Okay.
And then their main guy, their boss, is called a bosun or a bosun's mate if you're in the Navy.
Right.
And he's basically the manager of the labor division. That's how it really works, right?
Right.
So now I'm a quote-unquote officer, and there's third mate, which climbs to the second mate, which naturally everyone thinks the first mate. Right. We don't call it that. We call it a chief mate, but it's the exact same equivalent.
Same thing. Okay.
And then the chief mate becomes the captain. Okay.
So when you're on these ships, who are normally the working class, like the people that are doing the work that are at the labor division of all this stuff?
Those are the OSs, the ABs, the bosuns. And
where do they normally come from? What are they? You know, are they a bunch of Americans down there doing this work? Or?
So by definition, they're all Americans. Okay. You know, you do got, you know, regular white dudes, black dudes, Latin dudes, everything else. But you do have the Filipinos who are actually naturalized Americans.
Totally.
And you have a lot of people from Yemen. But everybody on the ships I work on, they're fucking American.
Right.
Like one way or another, they've gone through the process and they have documentation that says they're American.
Yeah.
But, you know,
like they're Filipino.
What's that?
But they're from the Philippines.
You can have that,
yeah,
and you can have white dudes, and you can have black dudes, and you can have like you don't get a lot of Mexican dudes actually.
Yeah, no, really.
Yeah, because they're busy. They're busy taking care of America.
Right. You know, well, it's the funny thing, right? Because I was telling you about Captain O'Hanlon, this bad motherfucker, right? The Irish guy.
Yeah.
And And he's like, yeah, we got to hurry up, get you to be chief mate so you can be captain one day. Cap, I don't give a shit. I don't want to. No. If we're going to fucking take over, we got to do this shit from the inside. He's still back there, dude. I'm like, that's my brother. That's my man. You know what I mean?
Let's do this.
Yeah, for real. He's a hard motherfucker. I love that dude.
Yeah. Having these guys come into the port, and then I got to go take care of different little things at the port for them and get this stuff going. Everybody that comes out, the engineers, everybody taking care of the motor and doing this stuff, they're all like Scandinavian. They're all like all the guys running the motors and doing all this stuff. They're all Scandinavian.
Those are a lot of foreign ships, though.
Yeah, well, but
definitely on the banana boats. The banana boats come in. They're definitely Scandinavians for sure.
Yeah, so all of the guys that are the engineers are all Scandinavians or whatever it is. But the rest of the boat doing all the work, all Filipinos.
Huh. I'll give a shout out to the Filipinos. If you look out into the fucking world, fuck American shipping, fuck shipping, and the reality is that there's probably 500,000 Filipinos in the world's Navy.
Really?
Yeah. They represent all the fucking people.
That makes sense. Most of the Filipino people
and also
Navy.
Yeah.
also to shout out the Filipinos, if I could give a stereotype, is like, that's the motherfucker you want.
Yeah.
That's the guy that comes to work and have a good attitude and be your boy.
Mexicans
and be your
on
homie.
water.
For a fact.
Mexicans on water.
Yeah.
No shit talking.
Yeah.
If you want to stereotype
totally.
a Filipino,
Yeah.
you say he's a cool motherfucker that busts his fucking dick.
Yeah.
Every goddamn day.
Works his ass off, gives his money to his family, doing the work, doing the hard stuff. You know what I mean? Just out there doing it. And in the meantime, the fucking galley when you walk in there smells like dead fish.
Hey,
you know,
wait. I gotta stand up for my people.
Jay.
Nah, dude. I'm gonna tell you.
It smells like burnt tortillas and fucking refried beans. What do you mean?
It's a roll of the dice. When you get out there, you could have somebody who's just like really heating up Hungry Man dinners, and then you got my people. I got my brother. He's from Spain. This dude's a world-class chef.
Nice.
Right? Antonio, if you hear this, that's you. This motherfucker, he'll take the worst ingredients you get from all throughout the whole fucking world.
Right, make them great.
And he'll give you a fucking masterpiece.
That's awesome,
Fuck great. He gives you a masterpiece.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right? My main man Ish, he's the steward on my ship right now. Me and him are day for day. He's a dude from Puerto Rico that's like, it's cool that I'm Puerto Rican, but I know how to cook for every man on this ship or woman, no matter where they come from. He lived in Mexico. He knows how to cook for Mexican people. We have a lot of times we have people from Yemen. They went through, some of these guys are fucking, they're Muslim. They go through Ramadan on the ship, and my man's like conscious of that. And he goes, these dudes went through a hard fucking time. We're in Hawaii. I know where I can get a goat, and he's gonna make this masterpiece of a big feast. That's awesome. Just for them.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Right,
man.
right. Yeah. So there are people that fuck the dog and they'll burn a straight up fucking prime rib.
Right.
Hey, how you like a prime rib? Well done. No, I like it almost
dead.
Bleeding, just dead. Okay, well I got well done.
Yeah.
You got those people.
And we got ketchup.
Yeah, exactly. You got A1. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Totally.
Nah, but my man Ish.
That's awesome.
He'll give you the best. And then I got the fucking pleasure of so the way they work, there's a guy at the bottom, then there's a guy called the cook and the steward. The steward's the manager. He's usually used to fucking making a breakfast. And then the cook is actually doing what the steward says for lunch and dinner. Well, as we talking about Filipinos, my man Mike, dude, that guy came through and like the best part is he grew up in Carson and he's surrounded by Mexicans. His ex is a Mexican. He's cooking everything a Filipino could like and everything a Mexican like and everybody in between. Awesome, and he's just like, man, when we get these tamales for Christmas, bro, we gotta fucking do the thing in the plancha and fucking. I'm like, yeah, Mike, you do that shit. And he's the thing. He's the thing. He's gonna ask you, hey Jay, how do you? Well, I want this fucking pot roast, bro. I want the gravy thick. I want the juices to thicken up, and those potatoes better be soft, but they better have soaked up all that flavor. He goes, all right, then I'll make sure it's like that. And those are the guys that are like a fucking diamond in the rough. And me personally, I've been lucky enough. Like I said, Antonio's the fucking best. Ismail's the best. Mikey's the best. And these dudes, they want to know what you want to eat. They want to know what you want to eat because the fact is that they are kind of the most important motherfucker on the ship. Because you wake up, And the first thing you got to do is eat some breakfast, drink some coffee. If your fucking breakfast sucks, guess what? You're going to be an asshole today.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Because it has to be those simple pleasures. You're stuck in this fucking apartment complex on the fucking
for a long ass time.
You know what I mean? And it's
we're
like
not
those
talking
little simple things.
Dude, there are
they
no
make a big difference.
creature comforts
None,
unless
yeah.
you make them.
Yeah.
And when you got a dude who's basically, if he's cooking for you, he's on your fucking team.
Yeah.
And he's making it happen.
That's awesome, man.
And like I said, I wanted to give a shout out definitely Ish, Mike, Antonio, those dudes. Those dudes, I rep them every fucking day.
Yeah.
And they are what makes being on the ship a pleasure because like, your coworker could be a dick, but if you ate well today, you're like, fuck you.
It, whatever, dude.
Yeah, fuck you.
This
It
fool's
doesn't matter.
grilling up carnitas later, dude. That's fine.
That ain't no joke.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
literally,
Ismail, he
Look at me.
did live in
I
Mexico.
get stoked over food, dude. I'm like,
Bro.
fuck yeah. That's
Bro,
what's up,
but the
dude.
thing is we took these corn, not masa, not maseca, we took corn, we cooked it the right way, we milled it down, we made masa, we made tortillas, we
that's
made
awesome,
fresh
man.
cheese, we had quesadilla that was 100% fresh, and we took that and was like, let's take it a step further. We're making tamales because when Christmas comes, that's what we're eating. So let's do a dry run.
Right.
But you gotta have a special person,
Yeah.
right? Most of those dudes don't care. But there are guys out there, guys I have never bumped into, and they're shooting the pics up onto Instagram or whatever. And they're like, yeah, so all you guys out there that want to talk Taco Tuesday and put a packet of some bullshit on some ground beef and give
White
you a
people
tortilla
taco
chip,
night, dude.
you know,
Totally.
and then I see something on a ship that I've never been on. I'm like, dude, this guy's got,
I wanna be on
cebolla,
that
cilantro, fucking carne asada, the whole shit. I'm like, that guy gets it.
That's what's up, dude.
You know, and it can be limiting, and maybe you can't make Mexican tacos the way they're supposed to be because you're getting ground beef from India that has bone in it,
Right.
like fucked up shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's dudes out there that are like, I don't care.
yeah.
We can make it work.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can get these fishy shithole fucking kitchens and shit, but you can also get these
Beautiful
places that
meals.
you don't actually
Yeah.
really deserve, but thank God they're there.
So one thing I do want to ask, like, since you've been to all these countries, you've experienced all these different cultures. Do you find a commonality with people? And it's so easy to be here and be like, they're so fucked up over there. This is so fucked up, and this place is so fucked up. Like, do you find like a common ground with everyone? I mean, do you see like, because I think traveling is the best way to broaden your horizon as far as perspective, right?
Say less.
I mean,
say less. If you're, you could travel anywhere in your fucking mind. You can be from the smallest town in this whole country, and read about people and their cultures elsewhere. But when you just think you're this bad motherfucking dude because you're this big swinging dick in America, you're just a dumb fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to talk shit on people, but like,
no, but it's a small perspective,
bro.
I have family members who've never been more than 2 states.
I got family members that haven't been outside of Oxnard.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
My wife teaches kids in Oxnard that have never been to the beach.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
grew
It's
up with
fucking
that.
crazy.
One of my homies when we were growing up, Mike Cabral, his whole family had never left Paula Street.
That's crazy.
And then we took him and we took him outside to places. He for that little bit he left, but he's still he doesn't go any. It's what he knows and what he does.
But like what I would say is like man, I go somewhere, I'm gonna say, oh hey, what's up, bro? Okay, you're cool. You're Chinese. Okay, Craig, tell me where the Chinaman goes.
Yeah.
You're like over here. Okay, well, hey, can you come with me? And it sounds a little fucked up, but can I pay you for your time? Can you take me around?
Yeah.
Show me your places, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey, show me where you want to eat.
Yeah.
I'll buy you lunch because I want to eat. Have you ate? No, you haven't ate. So okay, let's go there.
Yeah.
And the reality is that if you just I'm showing interest in you personally, but in your culture.
Right.
And you can do that. You can do that without going anywhere.
Right.
But most people think they're just so fucking cool because they're fucking Americans, and guess what? They are. But you're also a fucking asshole.
Yeah, you can be.
You know what I mean?
Line's real thin,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I remember Jason had started. I don't know how long it was he had been out there on these ships, and he was docked. And I can't tell you. You might remember, but he called me up so excited because he was docked in some Asian place, and this was years ago, bro, like not too long after you started doing this stuff, and you were probably still on, but you were just like, man, brother, I am out here with these people, and they took me off the boat today, and we were out running around in the jungle, and we were out and he's calling me and excited, like, bro, I wish you were here. You could see what we're doing. We're like, I got off the boat, and we're stuck in this port, and it kind of sucks, but when I get off the boat, I got these people, and they're taking me into the jungle, and we're running around, and we're in this city off in the middle of and I don't even know what's going on. And I'm just like, I'm captivated.
Like a kid
I'm
from
like,
Oxnard
holy shit, dude.
Entire fucking world. It's amazing.
Walking around looking like the Buddha. Like, just, representing.
But that's the thing. I do know what you're talking about, actually.
Dude, when you called me and told me about that shit, I was so jealous,
the hardest
bro.
shit ever. It's
it
the
was
hardest
the
shit ever
fucking dopest shit ever.
Because I don't get a lot of time just to be, right?
Right.
But, so, what he's
stuck.
talking about is actually in Saipan, right? Okay.
Yes.
So everybody's probably heard of Guam. If they've heard of the Navy, there's fucking big Navy there.
Finadini.
There's regular... Bro,
some of the greatest fucking food.
Let me just say something real quick. Let me say something real quick. All right. So, repping Oxnard, hard as it can go. My neighbors growing up, baddest fucking people there ever was. Wife is Chamorro. She's from Guam.
Okay.
Husband, Filipino. Right? Now, those are the next door neighbors. Now, Tony served, bro. Navy man, bad motherfucker, 100% American, bleeding fucking red, white, and blue, Filipino dude, inviting me to every function they ever. I'm just a neighbor kid, right? But of course they're Filipinos, so they're generous and gracious, right?
Beautiful people.
But middle son Philip, married to a Mexican one. Dude, I go to this fucking house. It doesn't matter what holiday or what birthday it is. Number one, they're going to have steaks, burgers, dogs, because we're American. They're going to have lumpia. They're going to have pancit. They're going to have everything because they're Filipino.
Right.
Mary is going to make the most slamming finadini there ever been in the universe, right?
Wow. Dude.
Right? And then Estelle, of course, made everything Mexican contribution to the deal, right? And of course, Andy and Tony Jr., everybody is there, and they're the best fucking people in the world. But I'm going to a fucking feast, and they got everything you can get. But I get down to Guam, I get down to Saipan, which these peoples, they're indigenous, are called Chamorros.
Okay.
Mary was Chamorro from Guam.
Okay.
Mary came to the United States of America. Mary kept making finadini with the ingredients she had
fucking good, dude.
in the United States of America of Oxnard. Bro, I go there to fucking Guam. I'm like, that shit ain't that good. What do you mean it ain't that good? I'm like, well, let me tell you, it ain't that good. That ain't the finadini I grew up on. And they're like, hey, you non-Chamorro fuck. Who the fuck you think you are? I said, boy, I've been eating this shit since I was 5 years old.
Yeah, totally.
The finadini I'm used to just kills this.
Yeah.
And dude, it's great because I'm going to say it right now. And if everybody who's watching doesn't know, Filipinos are our primos. Mexicans and Filipinos are primos. Across the whole border, whatever happens, Mexicans went over with the Spaniards whenever it happened, and they exchanged a lot of shit. Mezcal came from technology from the Philippines to Mexico. Salsas, all this and that, whatnot, and this and that. So we're all fucking primos.
Yeah.
But when she make this finadini, where I'm like, this is how we do it. It came with our people's ingredients, with your people's technology, and it's the sweetest thing there ever is.
Oh, it's so good,
and they're
dude.
just like, you're a bastard. And I'm like, God bless me.
Yeah.
God bless me.
Hey,
But
so when you were in Saipan and you would call me and talk to me and tell me about that
we
shit,
get
man.
there, and
Come
this
on,
guy's
man.
like, if you want to see Saipan, okay, you want to see Saipan, the real Saipan. Saipan's very important as far as our America goes.
Yeah.
But they says, you want to see this real shit, you got to go on this thing. And it's called the Hash Harrier Hounds Run. And it's an international thing, right? And basically it's my drinking club has a running problem. right? That's what it is. Nice. And like, fuck it, dude. Yeah. I'm like a fat kid. I like drinking beer. I like seeing cool shit. Let's go running. And I got to be there. I was fortunate enough to be there long enough to do a lot of these runs.
Okay.
And I'm also competitive and fat, so I'm going to be like the fucking red herring. They're like, this guy's in last place. Fuck, I'm gonna be in the front.
Yeah, totally.
Because if I get there first, I get to drink the beer.
That's
first.
right, dude.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And I literally got to run up, down, left, and right all over this fucking island.
That's awesome.
And in the meantime, I got to meet a lot of those fucking locals that were out there. I mean, Kooky, all these fucking guys out there, man. So fucking cool.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if it's just the attitude, but everywhere I go, I get embraced by these people.
Right.
And guess what? They're
It's
people.
Right.
They're fucking
and
people.
that's the thing
part
that's
of it.
easy to
It's part
forget,
of
you know?
it's what people need to understand is like the blessings you get to just be a person. No matter where you're from and who you are, what you're doing, if you just go out there and just enjoy and really get to know these people. You were calling me and we would talk about this stuff, and the excitement and the joy that I got from it was contagious.
Best thing ever.
I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. And you're explaining all this shit, completely lost listening to you, but the contagious, the how excited you were about, like, bro,
I ran 8 miles through the fucking jungle today.
yeah.
I saw a fucking swimming pool in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, totally.
They had fucking shots at the fucking meeting points.
dude.
I went to the fucking spot over here. The grotto's over
Yeah,
here.
right.
We went, dude, everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yep.
And you meet all the fucking people, and everybody's close to. And,
Yeah,
and
fuck
the cool
these
thing
Sparta
is,
dudes. Fuck these guys doing these Spartan marathons.
they can
You're
do
like,
whatever
man,
the fuck
you
they
can
want.
do what
God
you
bless
want to
them,
do.
but-
We're
but-
having a
but-
good
but
time,
we're gonna
man.
go to the place where
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
And like, I guess you just go there curious and you want to meet the fucking
That's
people.
Dude,
the key,
he
right?
kept telling me all this shit. He called me up, dude. I'd get so excited about it.
Totally.
I'd run straight to the refrigerator and grab a beer.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck
Dude,
yeah. Refreshment.
almost passed out trying to do it because I really ran to it, but
that's
I was
the
excited.
key. Curious. You seem like a guy that's always been fucking curious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
wanting to fucking experience. You know, the need for experience is something that like so many people don't have. You know what I mean? And I've always been a really curious dude. Like I love any freak, weirdo, homeless people. Fucking get a weird perspective, dude. You know what I mean? It opens up your horizon so much. And I'm a magnet for like fucking weirdos. Like a homeless guy sees me, he's like, me and you, bud. I'm like, yeah, probably. You know what I mean?
Well, because you look like you'll give them a chance.
Well, yeah,
no,
exactly.
but it's
And that's the
important.
thing,
But that's
you know?
important.
It is important.
That's
yeah.
fucking important.
It is
because you know
important.
what? I'm so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm the bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
I can be all that and be like, yeah, but also sit down on the fucking concrete right here and have a fucking beer with you out front of a 7-Eleven,
100%.
and you're a fucking homeless dude and you ain't got no fucking cash.
Right,
But you
right.
look like you got a story to tell, so let's fucking do it.
Yeah, totally, man.
And you can do that with anyone.
Right.
And you can do that anywhere.
Yeah.
And you can do that, more importantly, out of your comfort zone, out of your element, out of your hometown, out of your country.
Yeah.
And that's just gonna get you welcomed.
Totally, man.
Right?
Yeah.
You wanna be welcomed?
Yeah.
You wanna be fucking welcomed? Go somewhere and be like, hey, how do you do it?
Yeah, ask a question,
Hey,
right?
how do
Go
you
with
do
a
it?
question, dude.
What is it? Doesn't matter.
one of the coolest things that I ever was listening to Henry Rollins talking on a podcast, and he was talking about going into one of these countries, and right when he got there, shit popped off. And he has a way of doing things where he goes through and he goes through the communities and he does all this stuff so he can do his photography and all this shit.
Yeah.
And one of the things he was saying is like, the hotel's telling him, no, you can't leave right now. You need to stay here. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
You should.
Yeah. And he walks out the door and he's running around and it's just total fucking chaos going on. And somebody runs up to him and goes like, what are you doing? And he's all, man, I'm just here to talk to you. What are you doing? I want to just learn from you. What are you doing?
Right.
And then this guy goes like, well, come on, let's go. You know, and it's that whole,
Yeah.
I'm just here to meet you.
Yeah.
This is why I'm here. I'm here to engage with you, learn who you are, know who you are, and just let's go. You know what I mean? It's fucking insane to me because I've got so many control issues. I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like I can't even getting on the plane to get to that point is fucking nuts.
Nah,
but
fuck
he's
that.
like,
That's the cool part.
But that's yeah. But for him, he's just like, look, he it's one of the coolest fucking things I ever heard. He runs out there. He's in the middle of all this shit.
Yeah.
He's like, the guy walks up to him, and you got to listen to what he was talking about.
Yeah.
But he's in the middle of some fucking chaos that's just popping off. And one of these guys is like, what the fuck are you doing? Go home. He's like, no, I'm here to talk to you. And that dude then immediately goes, well, fucking let's go.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of getting out there and doing that shit. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
And,
But it deals with perspective, though, too.
unless that happens at a buffet, I'm not going nowhere. You know what I mean? Unless, dude, there ain't no fucking way.
He's still got the Oxnard in him, huh?
Yeah.
That's my man right there, bro.
He's like, I ain't leaving this fucking block. We're fucking here, dude.
Hell yeah.
Hey, but the reality, I mean, the thing is, it's just like, it's just that easy, though.
It is,
and let's say you don't want to fucking leave the country. So fucking what? You drive down the fucking block, you see some fucking paisas out there, the heads are low. You see them, just be like, yo, what up? Just throw what up? What up?
Hola,
What up?
pues. ¿Qué pasó, amigo?
Yeah, I mean, you're just
Ya,
driving the car.
comida.
What up?
Comida.
I mean,
It's simple, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
and it
Or-
ain't
or-
a prescription. You ain't got to fucking do it, but you should.
Dude, or you get down south in Louisiana and whatever it is, and you roll up and you see some fucking. I'm trying to find the politically correct.
You don't
term.
want to say coon ass? Bro, so check this out. I'm an ignorant ass fucking
That's exactly
Californian.
what I was trying
I'm
not
an
to
ignorant.
say.
I'm an ignorant ass Californian, right? And I got this dude I know, and he's from Louisiana. He's like coon ass. I'm like, bro, what?
Yeah, excuse
Yeah.
me.
And he's like coon ass. I'm like,
Calm down.
bro, what
okay?
the fuck are you talking about?
Easy on me.
And he's like, no, dude. They're like, they're like these white dudes and blah. I'm like, motherfucker, that's still pretty fucking racist.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fucking coon ass is a fucking. You've got a specific word that's outside of the words you call white people.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a fucked up thing. I mean, the shit cuts both fucking ways.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's essentially a hillbilly, or
Yeah.
for Louisiana, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Cajun,
you know what I
essentially,
mean?
is
Whatever it is.
well, it's well, there ain't no hills, but
Yeah.
it's the swamp dog version
Yeah.
of a hillbilly.
Yeah.
For people that are down, and
Yeah.
you know what? That's the guys that are like on the alligator. I'm gang.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
And people don't understand this, and I learned this in like high school. We end up hitchhiking, picked up some dude. Me and this dude sat in the back of the car, and you could not.
Understand.
Not a fucking. And you're like, what's going on? You know what I mean? But he was a Cajun ass, coon ass dude that was sitting back there and just
Jab.
oh my god. And I'm like, hey man, do you want to come to the house and cook?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
bet your fucking
it
double
is,
eyes kicking,
yeah,
dude. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, it was one of the
That's so
most
funny.
incredible things I heard, because you had to listen intently to just try to get just a little bit of what he was
the
saying.
accent.
Yeah.
Imagine the word, and then fucking go, bam, translate to English. Beep boop 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 pop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We
Yep.
down there fishing, get some gay guy.
All
shit.
in America.
Yeah.
All in America. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
And like to some degree now, I don't get fucked up when they're like, oh, he's speaking Mexican.
Yeah.
Like, because to some degree, there's a big fucking difference. If you go to fucking Spain and you
Yeah.
ask for fucking guajolote,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you
First-
saying? Guess
first-
what? That's a Mexican word from
Yeah.
the Nahuatl language.
They're like,
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
you're in
And-
Barcelona,
Yeah,
motherfucker. You're like,
exactly.
Oh, dude.
Exactly.
What's going on
Yeah.
over here?
I mean, they got memes on the internet where it's like
Yeah.
you're over the spot and the fucking Spanish dude comes over here because we're over here, you know? And it's like the joke, and it's the same thing, but
Yeah.
like the same fucking way is like we don't fucking speak English, man. We speak American,
Right,
And we got dialects like you wouldn't
Yeah,
fucking
it's
believe.
Incredible. It's diverse.
Hey, I didn't realize, like, when I first moved down from Washington and I got into Oxnard, I'm in Washington.
Greatest place in the whole universe.
Yeah, I agree.
Órale.
Yeah. So I lived up in the Pacific Northwest, eh?
Oh, yeah.
But that's Hoser A, right?
Yeah, eh?
That's a different name.
Yeah, eh?
different A.
So then I moved down here. I'm 14 years old.
Yeah.
And I come from the Pacific Northwest,
Yeah.
eh? And I got so much shit and had to fight because I kept saying, hey. Like, what's up, eh? But it's not, hey, what's up, eh? It was, hey, what's up, eh? And they're like, hey, dog, you need to quit hanging out with Mexicans. I'm like, What are you talking about, eh?
And the most funny part is it's actually not Hoser A.
Yeah,
It's
no.
PNW A.
Yeah, totally different,
It's like being
man.
from Sacramento and saying hella, you know?
What the fuck is that? That's not even a word,
No,
dog.
dude, that was the thing for years.
Yeah, I know.
Dude.
It still
crazy.
is.
Yeah, it's like nuts. But yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, man. Getting to experience all those cultures, just being interested.
I mean, that's one of the beautiful things that I love when we talk to each other on multiple, like him and I get into all these, we talk about music and different cultural stuff. Then I fucking love, we have conversations all the time. And it's one of the things that I like is how much we just appreciate different cultures and how much we get excited about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? We get excited about the food. We get excited about the music. We get excited about the language. We get excited about big asses. Whatever it is, big asses is important. You know what I mean?
What are you going to say about that? I mean, there's no explanation.
Yeah.
Have you been to a nation that surprised you with the asses, dude?
Yeah, of course.
Where's that?
Yeah, what's your favorite ass country?
We know about, Dominican Republic. We know about all, fucking Brazil. We got all that. Where it surprised you?
Well, surprised me. Oh, fuck, I don't know, man. There's beautiful women everywhere I go. All of them surprise me when I don't expect them. When I don't expect them, they're all surprising me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would add to that, though. Because, California's been taking a bad rap lately, right? But you know what? Not my motherfucking people, right? Not my fucking people. My people are solid as fuck.
Right.
Preach.
And they are everywhere in this goddamn state.
Preach.
And they come from every walk, everything there is, right? And because of that, right? Coming from Oxnard, being around Oxnard, Ventura, just us two. Man, I got a handful of friends that are African, not African American. And they're my friends. And when I'm like, yo, blah, 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 oh shit, I ain't in Africa. But when are you gonna come to Kenya and visit me? Because I got the cabina set up, I got the ride ready to go, I got this ready to go. I got my homeboy Akko, he's from Cameroon. I got my homeboy Korea, and he's from Kenya. I got the homeboy Tega. I mean, these are fucking real people from the real world that are not American.
Right.
They're African.
Right.
I got friends from Russia. I got friends from Greece. I got people from all over the fucking world, and they come to these places, right? California is like a border place. We're a border with the ocean.
Right.
New York is a border with the ocean. And we have all these invisible fucking borders. And bro, like when Asian food gets popular, hey, have you ever heard of pho? Yeah, no shit, homie. My boy Jimmy Lee been on a fucking Vietnamese spot in Oxnard for the last 50 fucking years.
Faux Saigon, let's give a shout out to Jimmy Lee. Faux Saigon.
Nah,
dude,
real
that's
talk
legit.
Though.
Best pho anywhere. Yeah. Like anywhere. Homie is legit as hell. The food is the best. Yeah. And he's been doing it for fucking 25 years. More than that. They started off on Oxnard Boulevard.
Wolf and Oxnard Boulevard.
Yep, that shit was legit, dog. And then they opened up the spot over there in Wainimi on Pleasant Valley and Ventura Road.
Yeah.
Faux Saigon. Shout out to Jimmy Lee.
People found out about it when they moved over there, and they were already fucking old and been around.
Yeah.
But guess what? That's Asia. You think his people didn't come from Vietnam to come here? Right? You know what I mean? Like, bro, when I go out to sea and they're like, oh, you done Filipinos? I'm like, man, my fucking next door neighbors, if some of my best people are Filipinos. Right. Oh, fucking this and that. And it's like, bro, you get that. Like I'm not talking shit on Montana. Right. But the point of entry is not Montana. It's California. It's New York. It's everything that is the invisible line that we call the United States of America. Right. And like, to me, that's benefited my whole fucking life.
Sure.
Yeah. It's benefited my whole life. And all the shit that gets talked on California, fair enough. But all my solid motherfuckers out here, no. Right. And they're still fucking good. And they got fucking values and benefits that could fucking educate people through those whole world.
If you're willing to listen.
And this ain't no preachy shit.
Yeah.
The thing is like, if you're interested, talk to some of my motherfuckers. Because
it goes back to the fact that there's whatever major coastal city, it goes to the people that are representing things visually are a certain type of person.
Yeah.
Which is this leftist woke shit. And that's kind of what represents visually what's going on.
What we think, everyone in California is.
What they want you to see.
Visually.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Visually, that's what they see. But they don't understand is there's the Oxnards, there's the inner Ventura County, but really more the Bakersfield and all these other places that are working class people that are here way too busy doing their life stuff to represent what California really is. And at the meantime, you got Newsom that's just got his little people and they're just fucking puking all over the place. And people don't really understand that we're still a working class state.
That's what makes it
but
work.
It's just overrun. Dude, without and like you could talk about the movie industry, they're trying to fucking bolt as fast as they can. But like we are still producing more agricultural goods than anywhere else that I know of.
Exponentially.
Sixth largest
and then if
world.
I could add to what you're saying, right? I mentioned all this other shit, right? These things we call foreign and these, exotic shit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the thing, right? Okay, because we didn't really have like this kind of designator, at least out here, is like there's no such thing as like American culture or white culture.
Sure.
But okay, guess what? Down in San Pedro, you got your fucking Portuguese motherfuckers. You got your fucking what do they call that? The Dalmatian coast. The people from Croatia.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Dude, there's a big old Croatia. And guess what? You know why they're there? Is because when they came from Portugal and Croatia, guess what they did? They fucking fished.
Right.
So you're down in San Pedro, where are they going to go? They're going to go fish where the fucking fishing is at.
Right.
You think they didn't bring culture with them?
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Everything up and down this coast is nothing but culture. You know what I mean? Before the Wokies took over San Francisco, there's probably New York. But other than that, there was never a culturally more diverse place than San Francisco, besides probably New York back in the whatever 20s and 30s.
Well, that's
and
the
40s.
entry point, right?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that was the entry port. There was San Francisco, there was the Port of Tacoma, the Port of Long Beach, but those three ports and San Francisco being the giant hub brought in the most diverse, the most culturally crazy place. And it's just, it's recessed into what it is now. Yeah. But truthfully, look at it historically. Look at what's gone on there and what it was and what it hopefully potentially can come back to be, was one of the most diverse cultural spots in the world. You know what I mean? Like San Francisco and New York. You talk New York on the East Coast, but West Coast, San Francisco, and San Pedro, like where can you get more culturally diverse places?
Well, it's interesting though too. You got to really think about it, right? Like I'm pretty fucking ignorant. My mom's white, my dad's Mexican, my family comes from Mexico. I could trace that back to a city. My white people family, I could trace kind of back a little bit, right?
Yeah, just look for the
I know
ownership.
they come from Russia. I can call them to Russia and to wherever the hell else in the universe. Mm-hmm. But the point is like I didn't know, right? Like when my grandfather came here, he was 5 years old. And he was like, look, if we're going to succeed, we have to speak English, right? And now if you look at like Pisces that come here, they're like, fuck no, we ain't doing that shit. But there was a point. There was a point in time. You look at Oliveira Street where all the old taco shops, they used to call that Spanish food, right? I get mad. I get all buttered. Fuck that shit, you East Coast motherfuckers. They ain't Spanish. That's a Puerto Rican motherfucker. Let him represent. That's a Dominican motherfucker. Let him represent. That's a Cuban. Let him represent. They call him Spanish. I'm like, fuck that shit. Because, like, come on. That's a rich culture.
Right.
Don't wash it out. Yeah. But, like, because I wasn't there, I'm just an asshole who comes and stands on the shoulders of giants. I want to fucking critique, right? I want to criticize. Well, that happened here. That happened here in L.A. and they're you're Spanish,
still
blah,
happening.
blah. Of course. But, like, paisanos are like, fuck you, bitch. I'm from Guadalajara. Fuck you, right? Now here, especially paisanos, they're like, I'm from Oaxaca. I'm from fucking Michoacan. I'm from Sinaloa. Fuck you. And there's a pride to that, which I think Mexicans now, and for a very long time have had the liberty to be like, fuck you, because we're deep. But like when you're not,
Yeah.
you might just be making Spanish food in Olivera Street.
Right.
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 And so I couldn't understand it so much, but I just really kind of fucking learned that like it was a thing.
Right.
And I thought, maybe my grandfather was like progressive. If we're gonna be successful, we have to. Well, how fucking hard is it when you're a fucking little paisa on the field and you're picking food?
Right.
And you can't speak English, but you want to step up one level so you can make more money. Like,
Right.
I'm thinking like that. Man, are you kidding me? My grandfather was a fucking genius, kind of, right? Because he was an everyman,
Right.
just like your grandfather and your grandfather.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, once he got enough money to fucking move out of Colonia, he built his own fucking house with his hand,
Right.
with his hammer. You know what I mean? And that's what everybody did, but like...
What is the definition of paisa? So people, I mean...
Okay.
I've used paisa for years, but if I say paisa, people may
mean
not
something
understand
different,
that I'm looking at it in reverence.
Well,
you know what I mean?
well,
For me, it's like a,
It depends on how you say it, right? Because if you look at Super Mario Bros., hey, paisan, or you look at Joe Pesci, you're paisa. The word paisa is coming from país, which means country. So if you're Mexican, a paisa is your countryman, right? Just like a paisan for an Italian man,
right.
it's another Italian guy.
Right.
There are folks. There are
Yeah.
fucking people.
Yeah.
You can say that with pride.
Right.
And you can even say it to a degree where like, oh yeah, he's a paisa. Like he's new, but he's from the country. He's from our country and he's new.
Right.
It depends on tone, right?
Yeah.
Right? It depends on tone. But
I've been beat up by some paisas.
well, dude, the thing is too, and to some degree, it's a form of reverence.
Right.
Yeah.
They just got here. They're just starting to fucking grind.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers had to fucking maybe walk through a fucking desert.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
I've had friends growing up, and they're talking about like, hey, the first time I came across, they fucking grabbed me, dude, and those fucking Mexicans beat the fuck out of me. But you know what? I came back,
Yeah.
and I made it. And I was like, that's right, boy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucking right.
Yeah.
That's fucking right.
Yeah.
That's fucking right.
Now
that
get- now
fucking
give-
paisa's a motherfucker right
Now
there.
give me my burrito and shut
Right?
the fuck up.
Shit. That motherfucker was working on the tires, so shut the fuck up.
All right. So give me my $20 tire. There you
Hey.
And
That son of a bitch is a hard motherfucker.
Oh, you know
what I
he
mean?
is, dog.
So fucking hard, dude.
Yep.
And that's the thing, though, right? Like that's the thing. That's what you get. You get to have a pride in that word. You get to have a slander in that word. You get to have it be beautiful, and you get to have it be ugly. And
Yeah.
that's life.
That
and
is
that's
life,
humans.
yeah.
And that's the ugliness of being a fucking a fucking human being, and the beauty of it.
Yep.
I can love you for being a paisa or a paisan or a fucking whatever the fuck you are. Because you're just going to say, hey, this shit's going to fucking hurt, but let's fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And you could just also be some dizzy motherfucker that thought he was going to do some other shit. And it's just like, look, we're all fucking people.
Yeah.
the heart that built this country. However, whatever word you want to use
it
was the
came from everywhere.
paisas. But it was the paisas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever built this country, whatever term you want to use, you can look at it as a derogatory comment, or you can just look at it as for what it is. You know what I mean? Mix, all the other slurs that I could use out there, whatever you could say, the Chinese and what they did, the Irishmen and what they did. The Italians really didn't do a whole lot. But all the other cultures, like we worked as those people that came into this country with nothing and built this country is what made it happen.
And
You know what I
did you
mean?
see
Like there's no, whatever it is.
But we're the
You know what I
same.
mean?
That's the best part.
Oh, 100%.
I saw this film, right? And it was like, I think it was called like East LA Over Change, right? And they're talking about living, I think it was, what part of Los Angeles was it? It's irrelevant right now. But the point is that like, on this block, there was a black dude on that house. And there was a fucking Jewish dude in that house. And there was an Irish dude in that house. And there was some kind of Slav in that house and a Mexican in that house. And they're interviewing this fucking dude. He's like 80s or 90s, right? He's this old Jewish dude. And he's like, Yeah, when I got to kindergarten, they had to teach me English because all I could speak was Yiddish and Spanish. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And like because they called it the melting pot of the West. Mm-hmm. It was the Ellis Island of the West.
Right.
Yeah. And that's where the others went. Right. Yeah. That's where the Slavs and the Irish got to be before they got to be white. You know what I mean? Like we've had this problem with like apartheid. There's black, there's white. But guess what? There's also shades of white that didn't get to be white yet.
Right.
Until they were allowed to be white. Right. Until it was beneficial for whatever scheme needed to happen. Right. And you know, I wouldn't necessarily ever just be like, it's this overarching scheme of the white fucking country or the thing of the thing. No, it became handy for somebody at some point.
Right.
It became handy for somebody at some point. Right. And it's always fucking neglected somebody at some point. If there's this giant master plan, I don't know. Yeah. Point is that white people of the Eastern Bloc and the fucking, I mean, for Christ's sakes, the fucking Irish way back were fucking not loved because they were the darker people of the fucking, you know. Yeah. And I honestly believe that the Irish had problems when they came to the States because they were the Catholics. Which, guess what? Who shares that? The fucking Italians. Right? So they were the piece of shit non-Protestant assholes. And guess what? They fucking meet up with the Mexicans, right? And me and Captain O'Hanlon had a great fucking laugh because guess what? He says, hey, you know about the St. Patrick's Brigade? Yeah, I heard of them. Right? So you look over there, you look down in Mexico, and you know, it's just not like a big up whatever, but like Mexican country fucking broke up slavery before in the United States. Mexican people had the fucking what were they called, the people who were Mormon that were like of the polyamory sort of.
Oh yeah.
They let them
Mormons.
set up, right?
The Romneys.
Right, but not Mormon specifically, but the ones that wanted to have multiple wives. Like, hey, fuck it, dude.
The polygamists, the Mormons.
And they were Mormons.
They don't like you.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck. Yeah. You want to live there?
Come
cool.
down here. Yeah.
The Mennonites, there's big old Mennonite population. You know, at some point, fuck, who gives a fuck, man? This is a desert anyway. You want to live there? Fucking go fuck off, right? You know, but
awesome.
But when the Irishmen came through and they're like, oh yeah, we're fucking Catholics, and they're like, all right, cool, bro, your guns for hire, sick. Yeah. And they're like, well, America, Mexico, whatever. So you do get this thing, right? You've heard of this Mexican family called like Obregón.
Yeah.
What is that a change of?
O'Brien.
And it's just like, so wait a minute. We got fucking Mexicans and we got fucking Irish people, right?
All Catholicism. So it started like back when the Spanish-American War, and in the middle of all of it, I'm sure you've heard this, but in the middle of all of it, there was this whole thing going on, and the Irish were like, wait a minute, we're fighting for these people that are just putting us out there,
right?
And we're fighting for these Protestants, and for what? Why are we not fighting with our own people?
Right.
And they went over to Mexico and started, during the Spanish-American War, started fighting with the Mexicans against the Americans. And we're like, fuck you guys, we're going to do this. Yeah. They all ended up, most of them ended up hung. You know,
but they became the St. Patrick's Brigade.
Yeah.
Recognized by Mexico. And if you go into Mexico City, I can't remember what building it was on, but it's near the Zócalo, and they have a plaque. They got this fucking plaque, and it's like the St. Patrick's fucking Brigade. And guess what?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
we're all the same
those
people.
fucking people are fucking weirdos, and we're fucking weirdos, and those assholes are weirdos. We just like them less, so we're all the fucking, we're all the same fucking people. Doesn't matter who the fuck you are.
We need to get that going on now. We need to understand that we're all the same people, because at this point,
that's the most important goddamn thing.
Anybody that's understanding, or anybody now that's looking at what we have going on, thinking that one side or the other is a difference. We're all controlled by the same, you know.
Yeah, but the point is like.
Quit looking. Just help me out. There you go. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Point is, if you're my brother and we cool, we have a beer, and we're gonna fucking break bread, then we're cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And if someone's got a problem with that, we can have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm stoked I'm stoked to meet you, dude. I mean, it's for me, it gives me a lot of joy to know that there's a dude like you doing a fucking job like that that's representing this place, your culture, and willing to fucking step out and meet everyone. You know what I mean? So
everywhere I go.
That's what I'm gonna thank you for your service for. You know what I mean?
Nah, shit. I don't do shit.
It's beautiful, man.
I'm just a man in the world.
It was
just a man in the world. That's it.
When I told them, I'm like, hey, my brother's in town. Mm-hmm. He's a merchant marine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Let's have him on.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
I'm all, what's a merchant marine?
no, he didn't ask what a merchant marine was. He's all.
Well, what the
is
fuck?
he still in service?
Yeah.
Is he still?
I'm sure you get it all
like
the time,
what branch is he in?
You're
What's
marine,
he doing?
You don't think water,
and I'm all, and I'm the whole time I'm all, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey man,
and he's all, no. Well, he's a marine, right? He's a marine. So, and then I got a nephew that's a marine.
Yeah.
And I'm all,
no, my nephew's.
My nephew's. He's. And then I got another nephew that's in this. He's a sheriff, he's a cop, and I want to get him on. And then so I'm fucking confused as hell, dude.
He's having three different conversations with me about three different people. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And I could not get it. And then I'm like, no, the one that you're talking about coming on Monday that's a Marine. And I'm all,
yeah, I'm an idiot.
Oh, you dumb fuck!
The fucking sailor?
You mean the merchant marine? That is not part of the fucking military, dude.
Like I said,
it was oh my god!
I'm a dickhead on a bulldozer, dude. Like what do I know?
Yeah,
yeah, but you know what though? Honestly, like seriously though, like I'd love to work a week in your job.
Fuck it.
There's no.
I'd love to
when I see cool shit,
yeah,
I mean, awesome. Dude, I want to fucking fly a helicopter for a week. Yeah, I want to be in a fucking factory that makes chains for a week. Like, I want to see all this. I mean. At the end of the day, every best motherfucker I ever worked with was always at the ass end of a hard job. Totally. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And every country I go to, that's the guy that I fucking bump into. You know, and it's just because, you know why? Because they're the people.
Right.
They're not the assholes that are making the rules.
Right.
They're the people
that
make
real
shit's
people
work.
out here doing shit.
Yeah,
doing
they're
stuff
the people.
every day, man.
They're the fucking people.
Yep. 100%. And
that's what I want. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Awesome. Show me the best thing about where you're at.
Well, that's fucking beautifully stated.
So, hey, man, I really appreciate you having you here. It's been a pleasure.
It has.
Yeah. It really, I'm very grateful that we got to do this. Anything you want to put out there, anything you like to promote or anything like that? Is there something?
Got an Instagram
you want to promote?
Nah, just don't be a fucking dick.
There you go.
That's solid as hell, man. Hey, I really appreciate.
That might be the title of this fucking episode.
Appreciate you guys listening to this stuff, man. We really appreciate you guys. We hope to see you guys soon. If you guys haven't checked out our Patreon, check out our Patreon.
Yep.
We really appreciate you guys listening and be a part of our program and our life. We're out here doing it to do it for you guys, man. And we really love you guys. Thank you.
And shout out to my brothers that are doing it every day.
That's right, man.
Amen to the Mexicans.
All right. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.